Hello everyone, welcome to Bhadra IAS online for Nagaland civil service exam preparation. Today we are going to discuss an important topic for your exam preparation and mostly for prelims type of preparation. The topic for our discussion today is the topic of GST. So you can think that GST will be a compulsory topic for study for your prelims examination. Okay, so we need to understand what is this GST, when it came into effect, and etc etc. So if you look at here, the GST Act basically came into effect from 1st July 2017 all over India. Okay, so this is generally a common indirect tax, we can say, that is the concept of GST. So if you look at here, GST is normally understood as what we call a single indirect tax on what? On the supply of what? Supply of both goods and services. And one important thing, the GST applies on every stage of supply. That means from the manufacturer, what you can see here, till the consumer, that is the final consumer. So in every stage we have to pay the GST if there is any value added in the stage of production or supply. Now that particular tax on the supply of goods and services is called GST. Clear? So that is the basic concept. Now let us look at the GST Council. Whenever there is any problem or anything on how to implement GST or what are the changes to be made in GST, these decisions are taken by the GST Council. So the GST Council is chaired by, so who is the chairman? It is the Finance Minister currently, Nirmala Sitharaman. Or this GST Council has representatives from central government as well as the state government. Okay, so in GST Council, every state government nominates one minister from the state. Clear? Now let us look at the types of GST. How many types of GST are there? We basically have 4 types. So if you look at the GST, we have a CGST, central government GST, and similarly we have a SGST, state government GST. Like the state, we have a union territory, so we have a UT GST, plus we have one tax, IGST, integrated GST imposed by central government. So the center imposes CGST and IGST. Okay, so let's look at some details of these 4 types of GST. The first one, CGST. So what is the CGST? The CGST is called central GST. This GST is imposed when there is a transaction within a state, any buy and sell or any transaction. On that transaction, central government puts a GST, that is called CGST. On the same transaction, the state also puts a GST, that is what we call SGST. Okay, so whenever we do a transaction, we pay 2 GST. One is the CGST, other one is the IGST. So both we have to pay at the same time, and the payment of this GST to both the center and state at the same time, it is known as the concept of dual GST. So what is the dual GST? Paying GST to both the center and the state at the same time. Okay, so if you look at this bill, you will find that there is a SGST and there is also CGST. Okay, so these both are paid at the same time while paying the GST, one to the center and one to state. So that is called dual GST. Okay, the next one is called IGST. What is the IGST? Integrated GST. So when do we pay this IGST? If there is a transaction from one state to another state, that is called interstate transaction. So when there is a transaction from one state to another state, this is what we call interstate transaction. on such interstate transaction there will be IGST. Clear? So that is the concept of IGST. So basically we have 4 types of GST in India. Okay, now let's look at the slabs. How many slabs are there in GST? In the old GST system we had 4 slabs. So that is the slabs what we call 5% slab, 12% slab, 18% slab and 28% slab. So we had 5, 12, 18, 28% slabs in the old GST system, that is the 4 slab system. Okay, lekin government has changed this. So now effective from September 22 this year 2025, we have a new system of GST slab. We have a 2 slab system now at present. So which are these 2 slabs? We have the first slab 5% for most of the goods, then we have a 18%. These 2 are like now standard rates of GST. In addition, on luxury goods and sin goods we have a special rate of 40%. Okay, now what do you mean by sin goods? Like tobacco products, etc., they are called sin goods. On that and some luxury cars and luxury items we pay 40% of GST. Clear now? So currently we have a new system, we have only 2 slab system. Now let's look at what are the items which are outside GST. Matlab there is no GST on this. So which are the items on which we don't have a GST? So the first one is what we call alcoholic liquor for human consumption. That means only the alcoholic liquor which is meant for human consumption, not the alcohol used for industrial products, not that. Only for human consumption, that alcoholic liquor is outside GST. Okay, so there will be no GST on this. Similarly, there are many items currently, these are called the 5 petroleum products. These are outside GST. What are they? Number 1, petroleum crude. Number 2, high speed diesel. Number 3, motor spirit. And number 4, natural gas. And number 5, aviation turbine fuel. Now these 5 items are currently outside GST. Therefore you see state to state the GST rate is different on these 5 items, and also alcoholic liquor, because the taxes are imposed by the state government, it is not under GST. Okay, so when you are preparing for your civil service exam, you need to have these basic concepts clear on GST, because in your prelims exam you will get questions on GST. 100% you will get some question or the other. Okay, so keep revising and looking into the concepts very clear. Today we discussed what is GST, types of GST, GST slabs, GST council, then the GST changes and what things are outside GST, etc. So all these things will be part of your prelims exam. Okay, so if you prepare well, exam will be a easy thing for your attempt. Okay, if you have any further query, you can contact Bhadra IAS online for Nagaland Civil Service at 8638391721. Okay, for any further query you can contact us at this number, and keep following our videos. We'll come out with more topics for your exam preparation. Thank you.